everybody! People asking in the chat room, Doug, how many shots are you taking today? Well, I will fill you in on that in a little bit. Hello, everybody! I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and co-host of Wrestleview Live alongside Adam Martin, editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com, where we would normally cover all of the major WWE pay-per-views except for last Sunday's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, where Adam was at the helm of the producer's chair and Mike Tedesco and myself covered Elimination Chamber. Hello, everybody in the chat room. Shifty, Michael, CJ, Hayden, Gills. I think I saw Quentin in there. I think I saw Jason in there. I think I saw a lot of other people in there. CJ saying it's time for Lackey View. You betcha. Yes. Lots of stuff to cover. Lots of stuff to try to get people, try not to get them jump off the cliff or cross that line. Randy, yo. Okay, so NXT showed up on Raw and Smackdown. You can take that for what you will, but I will be incredibly cynical, and you'll get my reviews on that in a little bit. Also, lots of news coming down the pipe for the past week, including breaking news today involving someone who has asked for their release and beat the dirt sheet sites to the punch and posted it on Twitter. So good on him. Okay. Also, updates to the WWE milk carton. We have got a lot of work to do on this WrestleMania whiteboard. I got some questions that I need to ask the chat room. All you people in there, I need advices about, because I got a feeling we got to stop relying on clusterfuck matches to be on this card and start thinning the herd based on lots of stuff that's been going on with Elimination Chamber last week. Earlier this week, and Raw and SmackDown. And finally, I just thought randomly yesterday that I would dip into the WWE Network early in the morning while Deanna was asleep, having my coffee and perusing the sites. I thought I'd turn on the network, and I just put on a random episode of Primetime Wrestling, and lo and behold, it was a March 6th, 1989 episode of Primetime Wrestling, where they were just in the middle of building into WrestleMania 5, which was Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage, and was based around the whole, Miss Elizabeth is hanging around you all the time. That angle. And it got me to wondering, God, 30 years removed from that angle, that WrestleMania, and this television show in particular, what was storytelling like and booking like when it came to their television shows in that particular week? And comparing it and just looking back on it and seeing, how far we've come and how much things have changed. I mean, not just forms of entertainment we have, modes of communication we have, ways we communicate with one another at all. But it's just so interesting to look at. It's not about A shows. It's not about B shows. It's not about any of that. It's just how storytelling is done. And also, yes, we have to admit that back in 1989, the main purpose of those television shows was not just to sell a pay-per-view that would be coming up in April, but to also to get you to show up to their live house shows where all their money was really made. So, going to kind of be looking at that. Kind of makes for interesting retrospective stuff because I'm old. What are we drinking today? We are drinking Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA from New Belgium. Ooh, it's almost a phantom beer. This is where's the ABV? That is a 9.0 ABV. Yes. Oh, boy. And also, Jamel saying kayfabe being alive and well probably helped the show. Well, yes, it did. Yeah. But I want to try to get away from the evolution of how we look at pro wrestling and just look at how the WWF as a company, as an entity, as an entertainment company, sold their shows, how they progressed their characters, how did they book them? It's not about A show, B show. It wasn't even about TV ratings then, if you think about it, because all of it was syndicated. So we're not going to try. I don't want to get into a major in-depth discussion on so many fronts involving the past 30 years of how we digest and ingest and sometimes vomit out professional wrestling. But there's more important things to do. First, so last week, Miss Victoria Tedesco from our great post-Raw recap shows here on the Wrestleview channel, she was a guest on my show last week, and the responsibility was on her to make the picks for Elimination Chamber. 7 matches to choose from, 4 locks to make. You'll know what those locks mean in a little bit. Needless to say, she was incredibly ambitious, though did not do too bad. Well, didn't do too good either. We ended up with a record of 4-3. Matches that we lost on. Thought that Lashley was going to retain the Intercontinental title, and I'm pretty sure we weren't the only ones that thought that. Okay, so I can't falter on that one. However, I can falter on choosing Shane and The Miz to retain their tag titles, and also Braun Strowman to win his no DQ match against Baron Corbin. I had no faith in either of those picks. I even let that be known. So, with a 9.0 ABV chaser, this is how it's going to go down. As many of you know on the show, whenever I make lock picks of any kind, whether they be pay-per-view or otherwise, if I get them wrong, I hold my feet to the fire. I'm a man of integrity. Okay? I retract when I'm wrong. I correct my mistakes. And we learn from them. So, for every lock pick that I get wrong, it's a shot of the tequila. It's the shot of Luna Azul Blanco. Ah, boy. This is a double shot glass. Yeah, I know my hand looks kind of weird, don't it? But, alright, so that's what we're doing. Oh, boy. Shifty saying Finn will probably put over Drew at Mania, if not one of the NXT guys. Nope, stop it. Don't be thinking the NXT guys. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, don't go too far. Don't cross that line. Okay? I would have made both of those picks because of the Uso jail thing. Yeah, Randy, that's kind of true. I guess. I can understand that, but I had no faith in the Braun Strowman pick whatsoever. No faith in that one. Yeah. And I really thought the Usos were going to win just to progress a Shane Miz breakup that we haven't gotten yet, but we will soon. We've opted to go for the 4-week build for that WrestleMania match instead of a 7, and that's okay. So, all right, punishment time. All right. Always put it in front of the glass, in front of the camera, so you can see that I am not lying. I have integrity. I'm a man of truth, but I have the sources. Yep, Finn will probably be in a multi-man match, Randy. Yep, I'm kind of counting on that one. Unless the NXT guys, so okay, we'll get into that, Shifty. Okay, so I really hate this. I really hate doing this, okay? I really procrastinate on these because I fear. Take the glasses off for this one. I've done worse. I mean, I've taken 4 shots of this on one show, and while drinking my scotch on the rocks, and that was a very healthy show. Okay, so all right. Here's to me not knowing shit about professional wrestling. Oh, Victoria, that's for you. I hope you've learned your lesson. God. I really hate tequila on its own. Ugh. Hayden's saying I owe one more shot. No, I don't. We decided that when it came to the women's tag match, oh God, does it burn? When it came to the women's tag match in the Elimination Chamber, we were taking her lock pick and only counting her lock pick. So, and she won. She picked Sasha and Bayley. So there you go. All right. Oh man, does this burn? Oh man. I don't know why this one burns. I really don't know why this one burns so much. All right. Hold on. Refill on this stuff. You have to pardon me. I am not like the Tedescos where it's not nice to drink on cam. This has now become my gimmick. Everyone pretty much knows that. All right. On to the show. As you can see, Elimination Chamber went 4-3. Our total pay-per-view record is an abysmal 12-9. Got to get that back up. Mike Tedesco is going to be my guest on the Go Home show for Fastlane. Mike, I'm telling you, you are my saving grace on this one, okay? I expect to be well above 500, okay? You will not put me at 500 after Fastlane, okay? So, all right, on with the show. All right. Raw coming at you from Lafayette, Louisiana tonight. Hey, Aleister Black found a stray peanut on the floor. Why is Aleister Black over in Lafayette, Louisiana for Monday Night Raw? I don't know. Oh, boy. Yep. First off, we have the in memory of Pedro Morales. Still, I need to look up some matches of his. I know he's very important. So, yeah. Got to look up that stuff. Oh, man. Then, now and forever, Triple H is in the ring. Says the last 24 hours should be proof enough that the excitement is going on for the road to WrestleMania. Last night, history was made. Blah, 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 blah. And then he also confirms from ESPN that, yes, D-Generation X is going to be in the Hall of Fame. He also says that amongst his responsibilities with RAW and SmackDown, his responsibility is also overseeing WWE's third global touring brand, NXT. And so 4 NXT talents are making their debut on Monday Night Raw tonight. They are Ricochet, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, and Tomato Ciampa. Yeah. So, we got this. I remember Sunday during the elimination review with Mike, we were talking about what we'd be looking forward to on Monday and Tuesday with Raw and SmackDown, respectively. I said that there was absolutely no reason to watch Raw. None whatsoever. We know what the main events are. The fuck knows what's happening in between. How are they gonna do this? It didn't make any sense. Raw was just not an interesting show. So, how do we make it interesting? We inject these 4 guys into it. While I'm sure everyone watching, got their cockles raised high, and they got had to adjust themselves in the seat a little bit. Sorry, but I just saw pure laziness. Pure laziness. When they announced that these 4 were going to be at the show, I was like, a lot of things. First off, it's lazy. And number 2, they're in Lafayette, Louisiana. Not exactly a hotbed for indie wrestling or hardcore wrestling fans. And so immediately in my mind, I was like, I don't know how they're going to be received. Okay. I don't know. I know saying that it's lazy, but it is. No one's going to, yeah. I'm sorry. It's pure laziness. Try to build off of what you did from the pay-per-view. Finn Balor won the Intercontinental title, so have him running around and pointing the belt and laughing at Lashley. Ha 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 ha. You know. I don't get, you know. You have new tag team champions. Let's try to build them up a little bit, or feed them some new opponents, or you know, you can do all of this without needing to, I don't know. Just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, this seemed to me like an incredible sell to try to keep people to stay enthused watching Monday Night Raw. I'm going to tell you right now, this didn't really mean a hill of beans. I mean, they aren't going to be there next week, right? I don't know. They aren't going to be there next week, so why put them on there, except this being just a 3-hour advertisement for your WWE network? You want to do that? That's what your go-home shows are for. That's where you tout what the WWE network is all about. You wanted to show off these guys, you should have showed them off at a go-home. It's laziness, is what it is. On top of that, again in Lafayette, Louisiana, not exactly a hotbed for hardcore wrestling fans, okay? Lex asking, or did they say they weren't going to be there next week? I'm going to anticipate they aren't. If they are going to be there next week, oh my God, now we're beyond laziness. Now we're at desperation. We're at complete desperation. Wait, and you're going to have the North American and NXT champion on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on a regular basis? Stop it. Just stop it. Stop. Don't stop it. Stop it. Stop it. They're on NXT. They aren't coming back. This is a 1-week thing to get everyone enthused to watch the damn shows because creative couldn't think of anything. They pretty much knew they had put themselves in a hole. So, yeah. Bet a shot on this? Oh, sure. Absolutely, I'll lock it. These fuckers will not be on TV next week. Absolutely, I'll lock it. No problem with that. So, yeah. So, and we're also kicking off the show with a tables match with Karen Bourbon going against Braun Strowman. That's how you kick off a show. Okay, we've had right blasting out of the front gates openings with like this on Raw. You know, we've had ladder matches to start off the show. We've had no DQ matches to start off. We've had this before. Hell, we had a TLC match at the Go Home show going into TLC. So this is nothing new. Tables match with Strowman and Bourbon. Strowman's going to eat a side of the table. Yep. But then, let's see. Karen Bourbon's going to really take a nasty eating of the stairs. That looked really harsh. Jamel, what about the fuckers who debuted a couple of months ago? When will we see them again? Well, we kind of did. Kind of have been. CJ, hell, we had a gauntlet match to open the show a year ago Monday. That's right. We had a gauntlet match. It's lazy booking. Jason asking, will Bobby Roode ever be taken seriously? Have you ever taken him seriously? Have you ever taken him seriously? I don't know if I ever have. Blame his theme music. Braun Strowman would win the match when Karen Bourbon would dip into the well too many times. Strowman smart to it and plowed into the table. So, yeah. Oh, Lex, by your estimations on Roode being gone by year's end, everyone's going to be gone by year's end. Everyone's going to be gone. As far as I know, and I put it on Twitter earlier this morning, I'm assuming that whenever I see someone moving out of my apartment complex that they're going to AEW. Okay. Everyone's going to Jacksonville. Everyone's leaving the WWE. No one wants to stay. No one wants to make six figures. Yeah. So there you go. That's what I got to say about that. Paul Heyman coming out on the stage and sees Braun Strowman. Strowman kind of grabs his trap. Kind of makes him say he's hurting him. Heyman goes over to the ring. And introduces us to a nice little video package. It's a two-part video package that's airing throughout the night about how great Bork Laser is. Yes. Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor makes his way to the ring. Fonz Balor gets in there. He attempts to get on the microphone and talk about how he's always wanted to become Intercontinental Champion. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's been a dream to hold that championship with the greats of like Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. How long did Ric Flair have the Intercontinental title? I know he had it, but it wasn't for long. I don't know about that. Lio Rush's music hits. He goes out to the stage. He doesn't deserve to be champ. Lashley then attacks Fonz from behind. Then Rush makes his way down, but then the out-of-tune toy xylophone kicks in, and out comes Ricochet. He does a lot of stuff, does the flippy stuff that everyone is excited to see. He just goes, whee! Drop kicks, Lashley. Yes, so now we have a tag match of Ricochet and Fonz against Rush and Lashley. Apparently Rush and Lashley are still good. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I was afraid of that, okay? I'm glad to see that they've kept those two together, even after this match with Ricochet and Balor winning, because, Ricochet's in the team. They aren't going to have Ricochet lose. It's just good to see that they kept that act together, especially post-match on the Twitter. A fantastic little handheld camera thing that Lio Rush posted on his Twitter about how he felt let down. If Lashley wanted to do him in, just do him in right now. Just beat him up like he did before. And Lashley saying, no, that's what they want us to do. They know how great this thing is. That's why they're putting us in all of these situations. Perfect. If only they aired that on Raw, it would have been great. It would have been fantastic. I really wish they would have aired it on Raw. Yeah, it was fantastic stuff. Great little spots here with Ricochet and Lio Rush. I would love to watch these guys just have a match, okay? So much better than fucking Will Ospreay and Ricochet, that's for sure. I just kind of like Lio Rush going off the ropes and whoop, break ankles, going off the whoop, whoop. Yeah. No. What are you going to do? Good stuff. Really, really good stuff from those two. What would you think if Ricochet was on Raw or SmackDown? Is he made for this now? Maybe. I mean, there's no one else that does the stuff that he does on either roster. So, sure, I'd put him on the main roster. He'd be a good fit for it rather than 205. Right now, would I put him on there? No. You don't do it right now. Superstar Shakeup, you could. The Raw after WrestleMania is when we do a lot of call-ups. But right now, we still got some other call-ups to try to ice down right now. Ricochet's going to do something weird. He's a Power Ranger. Yes, and of course they went over, Ricochet did this 6-something senton thingy. Yeah. Was it 630? Yeah, it's a 630, isn't it? Yeah, 630 senton thingy. Yeah, so that's how they win. Backstage, Triple H is talking with Natalya, apparently about why she was supposed to have a match against Dana Brooke for the past 2 weeks, but it certainly is not happening. No, I don't think that's what they were talking about. Drew McIntyre walking up saying he couldn't help but notice that he rolled out the carpet for the NXT guys, and McIntyre told him he would do whatever it takes to prove himself. Seth Rollins has Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, but McIntyre wants Rollins to prove that he deserves to be in the main event of WrestleMania. Instead, Dean Ambrose walks up, says he's not doing anything tonight. What about me? Bam! Nice look by Dean here. Yeah. And so now Triple H asked if we wanted to change that match, and McIntyre goes, yeah, change the damn match. So, yeah, we're going to have Drew McIntyre and Dean Ambrose in a match. No problem with that, right? Right. Lucha House Party making their entrance. They're going against Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Okay. I absolutely love this storyline of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. How Zack's come back to help his best friend. Whoa, the chat room just went nuts on me. How Zack Ryder has come to the aid of Kurt Hawkins to try to lift his spirits, to be a tag team once again, to try to get that win. And damn it, they just can't get that win. They just can't get that win. And they don't get that win against Lucha House Party. They sure don't. Even though Hawkins does a nice little Michinoku driver, still doesn't beat Lucha House Party when they can do Hurricane Ranas type things. So, I absolutely love this storyline with Hawkins and Ryder. I am writing that to WrestleMania. There will be updates to the whiteboard. There will be updates to the whiteboard. I am absolutely writing that to WrestleMania. That is a WrestleMania storyline where there's some kind of, I don't know, clusterfuckery way that they get into a title match at WrestleMania, or there's a fatal four-way of some kind. They're in it for the tag titles, and they win it. That's how I'm looking at it. Lacey Evans, Heavy Machinery is out on the stage. They're doing some kind of interview with Charlie Caruso. Then out comes Lacey Evans. She walks up and down the ramp. Heavy Machinery do the same damn thing. Okay. Tomato Chomper and Johnny Gargano are backstage. They're talking about things, and Rude and Gable come up to them. They're confused why they got a match with the Revival and not them. Yay. And then the top guys come out, and they start talking smack about them. So we've got the Revival versus DIY, essentially. Yeah, it was kind of a toned-down match from the many that they had in NXT. Tomato Chomper getting on the apron and yay, slap himself on the shoulder. It was great the first time. I think he does it a little too much now. You know. Tomato Chomper and Johnny Gargano is what they are. Yes, they do lots of really neato Kino spots here. They get the call back to the DIY finisher. Yeah, Tomato gets the pin, and that's how you win it. Yay. I remember all the stuff they did. Remember Toronto? Remember Brooklyn? I remember. Fonz is backstage talking with Ricochet, and then Charlie Caruso takes aside Ricochet, and he starts talking about how it's great that some guy from Paducah made it to Raw. Yay, that's really, really great. We need to take a drink for this one, people. Sasha Banks is trying to cut a promo. Throughout this promo, they tried to bait the crowd into doing the "You Deserve It" chant, just like they did at the pay-per-view. Lafayette wasn't having it, because most of Lafayette aren't WWE Network subscribers. They aren't subscribers to the network. Nia Jax and Tamina come out, and then a whole schmoz happens. Mikey saying, God, that was brutal. Banks and Bayley basically begging the crowd to cheer and chant "You Deserve It," but they won't. There's nothing sadder than watching acts beg the crowd for help in a segment. Yeah, that was bad. Really bad. Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre was kind of a wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. It's pretty much, it was all D-Mac. Gave Dean Ambrose 2 of those Claymore kickies to the mush and 1. Didn't take long at all. Yeah. Part 2 of the video package with Bork Laser. Okay, so Charlie Caruso is backstage with Seth Rollins after the second part of the Bork Laser video package hits, and he says stuff to build him up, and yeah. But then Dean Ambrose walking up, he looks really, really sore, and Rollins asks him if he could help him with something. Ambrose asks where Seth was. Where were you? Rollins asking Ambrose if he's completely lost his mind. I'm going to play this from... Well, I don't know if I really want to play it from Botchamania. You know what? I'm going to risk it. Adam, just go ahead and mark tape right here. If we get blocked for playing this, you can blame Matthew from Botchamania, because Matthew does a fantastic job on this one.
Can I help you with something?
Yeah. Where were you out there, man? Jeez.
Have you completely lost your mind?
Matthew. Matthew from Botchamania. Always fantastic. Always fantastic. Yeah. If I get, Adam, if we get blocked, you know where to cut tape. So keep playing now. All right, we got Elias in the ring, and then he starts saying his usual stuff. Then Aleister Black's music hits, and we got the fake candles. We got the, and we got the rising from the stage. This is going to sound very odd, okay? Because I know a lot of people have got a hard on for this guy. Okay. The music is annoying to me. I don't see how it's evil. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I'm missing something from him. I mean, I've seen all his matches and everything, and I don't. Maybe it's just because I'm thinking too hard. No, he has good stuff. I've seen good matches from him. His match with Velveteen Dream was fantastic. Maybe I'm just thinking too much. I need to consult my sources again. I had to talk myself out of crawling into that corner. No, he's just fine. I guess it was just, again, because I'm associating this with lazy booking. Just coming out there to kick Elias in the face, and that's kind of what he did, you know? Yeah. Oh, God. Elias selling that like a champ. God, look at those eyes of his. Look at Elias's eyes. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. I guess his music is annoying, okay? Aleister Black's music is annoying. Everything else is fantastic. They could have found way better music for Aleister Black. Okay? Way better music. Yes, next week, Ric Flair is going to be old. And finally, the main event is Ruby Wyatt with the Wyatt Squad in tow versus Wowdy Wanda Wowsy. Yep, this was the match that everyone was saying should have happened at the pay-per-view, but they're not going to have it happen at the pay-per-view because tough tits. Okay? Nice stuff here from Ruby. Because we are not going to have Wanda Rousey wrestle a 10 to 15 minute match in her Sonya Blade getup. She just got that stuff. Here we go. Riot kick. Right on the money. Jesus Christ. Oh, boy. Lex saying the only problem with Aleister Black's theme is that it's repetitive. Yeah, that's why I don't like it. It is repetitive. Very, very repetitive. But let me see. But Ronda, she knows how to do reversals and shit. She knows wrestling. She watches the wrestling. She knows reversals. She lets... Ow. Nope, no ripping. I'm back. You guys back? I'm back. Are you back? Tell me in the chat. Am I back? You're back. I think you're back. Hi, I'm back. Ice storm outage. Yeah, there's a lot of wind. There's a lot of rain. There's a lot of horrible shit out there. Okay, I'm back. Good. Yeah. It's... Hi, Jason. Welcome to the chat. 61% thought that Monday Night Raw was a good show. It wasn't too bad. But again, it's just laziness. This entire week was lazy. Except for SmackDown. Why is it? Let's go into SmackDown. Okay? Let's go into SmackDown here. Because even though the same 4 critters showed up from Raw, showed up on SmackDown, I thought SmackDown was the better show. Why? It's a shorter show, I guess. Maybe I just don't have to think so much. Maybe. I don't know. Shane McMahon opening up the show. The Miz comes out and he's apologizing. He hates his life. He lost the titles. The Usos came out. Yeah, The Miz fucking sucks. He even said so himself. Shane goes, okay, we get a rematch at Fastlane. Aleister Black is having a match against Andrade, which should not be unfamiliar to people. He's had a match with Andrade before on NXT. Andrade is so close to being on the milk carton, but he just got out of it by the skin of his teeth. It was a good match. It was a very good shortened match by those two. They've had longer matches on NXT. Go ahead and look it up on the network. Backstage, Tomato Chomper and Johnny Gargano are interviewed about how much they like being here and they want to keep up with the hype from the Raw debut they had. And then out comes the Bar. Sheamus and Cesaro are laughing at them. They have a match. The Bar and Tomato and DIY have a match. Was a really nice little match. I'm really flying through this stuff because I'm being brutally honest, okay? These NXT call-up things are lazy. This is lazy. The thing was also the NXT characters got more of a pop at this show at SmackDown than they did on Raw because Raw was in Lafayette and SmackDown was in New Orleans. How the hell did that happen? WWE corporate. The arenas that you're booking, the schedule that you make. You thought Lafayette was going to be a hotter crowd for 3 hours than New Orleans for 2? Get an NBA schedule. Know when the Pelicans are going to be having a home game. Get your shit together. Everyone on Twitter, everyone in the internet was bitching about how the Lafayette Raw crowd sucked. The reason the Lafayette Raw crowd sucked is because they showed NXT characters that are on the WWE network, and Lafayette fans don't have the WWE network. They only know what they see on TV, and you've already injected half of your show with people they don't know. New Orleans, you've had WrestleManias there. It's a hotbed now. People know the WWE network. They know NXT. There have been takeovers there. They know who these critters are, thus they get a bigger pop. Makes no sense to me. Corporate fucked up. They fucked up. Jamel says they barely have roads in that city. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Jason saying the people they don't know won. Pretty much, yeah. We have an interview with Asuka, and she says no one's ready for Asuka. Then Mandy Rose comes out with Sonya Deville in tow to have a match with her because she says that she's ready. Lacey Evans walked out to down the ramp and distracted everybody, which gave Mandy Rose the upper hand. But then there would be some chicanery involved. Rose is complaining that her eye was poked out by the referee. She possums out of that. Grabs Asuka, tosses her into the second rope, rolls her up for the win. Mandy Rose just pinned Asuka. Internet implodes. Well, maybe not. Because everyone's trying to find an opponent for Asuka, and they finally found one. Jamel asking if Asuka was on the milk carton. No. If she did not appear this week, Asuka was going to be on the milk carton. But she appeared. I had a clever booking scenario while I was at work of thinking that Asuka was going to come out and shoot that promo of nobody's ready for Asuka. And then Lacey Evans come out and she would go, honey, no one's ready for you because you're never here. I've been on TV more than you and I haven't even set foot in that ring. I want a match with you at Fastlane. You nasty. Nobody watches SmackDown. WWE watches this show. That's right. You're darn right, CJ. They sure do. Charlotte Flair is showing off the bruises that Becky gave her backstage and cuts a promo and shit. Backstage, The Miz is smiling and walks up to Shane. Thanks, Shane, for putting his trust in him again. Miz tells Shane that Miz's father is going to be ringside in Cleveland for Fastlane, where the pay-per-view is going to be, where they're going to have the rematch for the tag titles. Holy shit, that's where the swerve's going to happen. Holy shit. Speaking of the milk carton and people who got off of it, Sanity showed up today. Well, yesterday. Sanity showed up. Ricochet had a match against Eric Young with Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane in tow. Holy crap! Where'd this come from? This was a fun little match. Fun little one-on-one match here for Ricochet to show off his shit. Eric Young's a very good one to do that too as well. And also plenty of stuff to do along the outside with everyone getting involved. Good fun match. Good fun match. Backstage, Xavier Woods talk about how Kofi's been doing the thing for 11 years and yada, yada, yada. Hashtag Kofi Mania. Now we've got a 6-man tag team match to end this show. All the good guys, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, and Kofi Kingston going against Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and Samoa Joe in a 6-man tag for no reason whatsoever except that it would be announced after this match who would be facing Daniel Bryan at Fastlane for the WWE title. Yes, the good guys won. And after the match, Shane McMahon walks out and announces that Daniel Bryan will defend the title against Kofi Kingston. Kofi Mania. Everyone go nuts. Everyone go nuts except Daniel Bryan. He's bewildered and befuddled. All right. Kind of a decent show. I liked this NXT Infused show more than I did Raw. We'll just go ahead and put it that way. I liked this one much more. What did everyone think? 92% thumbs up. 92%. Holy crap. Wow. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. So, those are the two shows. Again, my personal opinion with these two shows with NXT Infusion in them. No, they're not showing up next week. I have locked that in. If any one of them shows up, I'll take the shot. Okay? But it's pure laziness. Pure laziness. They're now going to find excuses of trying to find reasons for you to watch their shows other than we got WrestleMania coming up. You would think with Ronda, Charlotte, Becky, just that match alone, that you could garner enough interest for WrestleMania. I'm telling you right now, it is taking a nosedive. No one. I mean, this is going to be, I honestly believe this is going to be one of the most lackluster WrestleManias ever. Really is. I just can't get hyped for it. Unless they've booked something or something's coming up that I'm not aware of. Because right now, this is bad. This is really bad. But again, we're 7 weeks out. We're 6 weeks out. So maybe I shouldn't be thinking so much. But again, that's what you got to do when you're a pundit, when you watch wrestling so much, and when you say things that make people angry. That's what you do. That's how you do it. Jason asking, can we have Ray and Ricochet for WrestleMania? No, you can't. No, you cannot have that because you're a horrible person, and Ray is too old. Just for me to take a shot? Well, you can just go to hell then. Yeah. Less thinking, more drinking. Absolutely, Jamel. On to the news. Welcome to the penitentiary, Uso. TMZ reported that WWE star Jimmy Uso, also known as Jonathan Fatu, was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct and obstruction after an incident with police on February the 14th. According to the report by TMZ, WWE star Naomi, known as Trinity Fatu, was driving near downtown Detroit when she was pulled over by police for driving the wrong direction on a one-way street. Jimmy, 33 years of age, was in the car at the time of the pullover. Police described the 2018 Dodge Journey as reeking of booze and ordered Naomi out of the car. While police spoke with Naomi, Jimmy reportedly exited the car despite commands from the police, removed his shirt and jacket, and squared up like he wanted to fight the police officers. One of the officers pulled out a taser, fearing for his safety. The police stated that Jimmy ultimately settled down and complied with commands, but was then immediately handcuffed, arrested, and charged with disorderly conduct and obstruction. Jimmy was taken to a nearby jail where he later posted bond. Both Jimmy and Naomi appeared at a SmackDown live taping in Toledo earlier that week. WWE was yet to formally comment on the situation involving Jimmy and Naomi. However, that was changed later on that day after the reports came out, where the WWE's statement to Wrestleview was, Jonathan Fatu is responsible for his own actions. This all occurred before Elimination Chamber, where everyone started thinking that, oh, nope, they're not getting the titles. Well, shit, what do you know? My sources told me they were going to stay with the titles. And Victoria she doesn't do sources. She doesn't like the sources. She doesn't know. Her sources are very timid. They aren't as vocal. She doesn't do sources. You guys see this crap about Corey Graves' wife? Do I really need to touch this? Because I really don't want to. I really don't want to touch this, but I feel like people who are listening to me on audio, I don't know. CJ telling me to skip it. You know what? Those of you that are listening on the audio version of this, just look up Corey Graves' Instagram, WWE on the Google machine. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. Let's just say that a lot of websites that were airing this story and giving it lots of traction ended up with a lot of egg on their face. So yeah, we'll just keep it at that. Steve Austin praising Becky Lynch for her shit, but Dash Wilder wants the tag titles back. Stone Cold Steve Austin was a guest recently on Fight Nation on Sirius XM satellite radio and was asked about his character being compared to Becky Lynch. Mike and I had discussion. I've had lots of discussions about this. Austin was asked if she is the female version of Stone Cold right now in the WWE. Stone Cold says, quote, "Well, I guess she is if everybody says she is. She does remind me a lot of myself. If you line up that women's current roster, if you line up the men's roster back in the day when I was still in the ring and you said, hey, I want you to pick my next breakout superstar. I don't think you are going to pick out Becky Lynch, and I damn sure know you wouldn't have picked me out of the lineup. Well, she's willed herself. I mean, she's worked her ass off, and Vince McMahon wants everyone there to be a star, and he's going to set you up and give you opportunities. So she made the most of those opportunities when they tried to slam the door on her. She kicked that door down and just burst back through it, and she's the hottest thing going right now." I thought, yeah, Jason, that's a good point. I thought Paige was the Stone Cold vagina. Why are we trying to find like the Y chromosome versions of X chromosome superstars? Why are we doing that? Thanks, Jason. Thanks for the living in the South, you kind of hear a lot of these accents. Why are we trying to find female versions of male performers and icons? Is it just something for us to better, understand? Becky Lynch is Becky Lynch. Okay? Becky Lynch is Becky Lynch. She's her own character. I don't see anything. I don't know. Dash Wilder wants the old tag team titles brought back. Dash Wilder says a lot of indie stupid shit on his Twitter feed. And he has done it on his Twitter feed, saying the people have spoken. Don't deny the universe. Bring back the GOAT championships. Yep. Doing the little Photoshop deal. Yeah. Dash Wilder does a lot of that kind of poking and prodding on the Twitter. He is the embodiment of know when you're being sold to. Yep. Know when you're being sold to. WWE Confidential is going to be uploaded to the network. That's coming back. Remember, from 02 to 05, it aired on Spike TV, hosted by the late Mean Gene Okerlund. It was part of a 2-hour block that followed Velocity, which did a lot of in-depth reporting of sorts. It was a really neat concept. I'd really like for them to try to bring that back to the WWE network and kind of do a new Confidential. Would be nice. Sin Cara is still working on his comeback. He had surgery on his knee last August, and here he is punching a bag, because Sin Cara does a lot of punching. Yeah, Sin Cara does a lot of punching in his I guess. Well, no, he's rehabbing his knee. What am I doing? Minute Maid Park in Houston is going to be hosting next year's Royal Rumble match. It was unveiled during the Elimination Chamber that the Minute Maid Park would be housing the Royal Rumble. I love the concept of the Royal Rumble being in baseball parks. They did a great job with it, I think, over there in Phoenix. That was great. How they have the stage right there in the dugout. They have to round the corner to make their way to the ring. Yeah. I really dig the concept of Royal Rumble being at baseball stadiums. That sounds fantastic to me. And there's plenty of them to choose from. Plenty of baseball diamonds that are enclosed to choose from. Yeah. So Jason wants to start a theory. Go ahead and start your theory. Start your theory, Jason. Claims against... Okay, I know that Adam posted this just because Bork Laser was on it and Dana White is on there and he loves the UFC. Let's see. Claims against Dana White and Bork Laser in lawsuit by Mark Hunt were dismissed. MMA Fighting is reporting that a bulk of the claims brought forth by fighter Mark Hunt against UFC President Dana White and current WWE Universal Champ Bork Laser have been dismissed by U.S. District Court Nevada Judge Jennifer Dorezi. Hunt, a longtime fighter in UFC's heavyweight division, filed a lawsuit against the UFC, Wyatt, and Lesnar related to Lesnar failing a drug test after their fight at UFC 200 back in 2016, in what was Lesnar's return to the sport of MMA. Hunt claimed the UFC, Wyatt, and Lesnar committed racketeering, fraud, battery, and civil conspiracy, and more by allowing Lesnar to fight. The lawsuit filed back in 2016 stated UFC officials were aware Lesnar had been using performance-enhancing drugs ahead of UFC 200 and decided to go forward with the fight. Anyway, Judge Dorsey ruled that while Lesnar did violate a rule of the sport by testing positive, he was fined $250,000 by the Nevada Athletic Commission and has not fought for the UFC since. Dorsey also stated that Lesnar violating this rule does not automatically negate Hunt's consent. Her full ruling can be read right there on our thing. CJ saying SummerSlam needs to come back to New York and go to Yankee Stadium. I don't know if you can pull off a weekend of putting the kibosh on Yankee Stadium unless you really make your eyes noted on the Yankees' home schedule. The tequila is kind of hitting me. You're going to have to pardon me there. PJ Black, also known as Justin Gabriel, says that he also turned down an offer from NXT to sign with Ring of Honor. Chris Van Vliet. I can't pronounce his name. I'm calling him Smith. Chris Van Smith passed this along, an interview that he uploaded with Justin Gabriel, where he talks about why he chose to sign with ROH, even though the WWE offered him a deal. He says, quote, right before Ring of Honor, I actually got an offer from NXT. They wanted me to go back there. There were a couple of other offers, too, from TNA and stuff, and I chose ROH because they give me freedom, and it's a great deal financially. It's only for a year. After that, it becomes like a 30-day notice deal. I have a feeling it's going to be like 2 or 3 years, but let's just see what happens. Also, merchandise royalties on that, it's unheard of. It's Chris Van Yeet? Or whatever. So, that's right. The Rosebud Bunny, Justin Gabriel, is heading to Ring of Honor. I hope he's dressed in a bunny suit. He also thinks that Lucha Underground is finished. Who knows, man? He says, quote, he thinks Lucha Underground is finished. He's saying, to quote, it was such a great ride. I'm very sad about that. I personally feel like it's not going to come back. That's why I had to fight to get out of my contract, and it was a lot of fighting. I know a lot of the guys are trying to get out of their contracts right now. I guess I was lucky with that. Know when you're being sold to, guys. On New Japan being his ultimate goal. That sounds really great. Keep it to yourself, PJ. Triple H says that China deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And he had a career upswing by being in DX. ESPN featured an interview with Paul Triple H Levesque, where he talks about D-Generation X being inducted into the 2019 Hall of Fame. He also wasn't shy about comments he made about China during a Stone Cold podcast that aired live on the WWE Network nearly 4 years ago. He said, quote, look, people believe what they want to believe. When I said a few years ago on the Austin podcast or show or whatever you want to call it, there's complexities around it, but absolutely, definitely deserves to be in there. It'd be tough to pick a female that was more impactful on the business. She did something that was completely so out of left field that it wasn't even being considered when we first brought it up for her to come in. It wasn't even a consideration. It wasn't an easy thing, and against all odds, she did all of that. She earned everybody's trust. She won over the fans. She won over the boys. She did all of it. Yes. Triple H also feels that China should be inducted individually as well. I know how the name is pronounced, Lex, but it's going to be Levesque. He says, quote, from that standpoint, absolutely 100% China deserves to be in the Hall of Fame and should probably be more than once as a group, but individually as well. There's more complexity to that than meets the eye, but here we are. I'm just happy that it's here. I'm happy for her family, the people that she was close to, hopefully that this is super meaningful to them. I know it would be to her. It's a great thing, and it's very deserving. Well, there. There you go. Isn't that really nice? Believe it if you want. Believe it or not. By the way, breaking news earlier today on the Twitter, Ty Dillinger asking for his release from the WWE, and he issued a statement online about his departure ahead of all of the Dark Overlord Meltzers and the Fightfuls and the Bleacher Reports and all of them. Good on him, number one. Good on him. Ty Dillinger requested his release from the WWE. The former NXT star was drafted to SmackDown roster 2 years ago. Issued a statement on Twitter about his departure. His tweet says, quote, take a sip of the sources real quick. Because a lot of people like me reading the news. Ty Dillinger says, quote, from the Twitter earlier today. Before rumors begin to spread, let me set things straight ahead of time. This evening, Tuesday, I requested my release from the WWE. In the past 5.5 years with them, I have seen and done some wonderful things that I am very proud of and will never forget. I have met and have worked with unquestionably some of the greatest talent on this earth, and the pleasure has been all mine. I feel at this time this decision, as extremely difficult as it was, is what is best for myself and the WWE. I wish to continue to grow as a performer and offer those paying hard-earned money to watch a show I'm performing on a little more of myself. To the male and female locker rooms, coaches, and producers, to the production and ring crew, all the way up to the very top of the WWE, and most of all the fans, I wish you all the very best and thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything. His tweet would be replied by many as Nikki Cross, Rusev. Those are the big two that I had seen that replied to his saying thank you and wishing him well. And yes, it already happened. Not within a half hour after that tweet was posted, everyone immediately thinking he's going to AEW. Along with my valet garbage, along with the neighbors underneath me, the Indian family, where I will no longer smell curry every fucking morning, and also along with the mail that I just set out today. All of that going to AEW. Everything is going to AEW. Anything that voluntarily leaves your site is going to Jacksonville and the Khan family and potentially TBS and TNT, and going to Vegas for a Double or Nothing show where Undertaker is going to get a $50,000 payoff just to stand there. I had to get that off my chest. Finally, in the news, Chris Hemsworth has been picked to portray Hulk Hogan in a brand new biopic expected to air on Netflix. The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that actor Chris Hemsworth, best known for his role as Thor in the Marvel movies, will be playing Hulk Hogan in a biopic. The movie, which is currently in the midst of closing a deal with Netflix, will be directed by Todd Phillips, who also directed a lot of comedies. Trying to remember some of them. Help me out here. Google machines. Find them. And it will focus on the rise of Hogan and Hulkamania. The article was quick to note that Hogan's recent sex tape scandal and legal issues with Gawker would not be part of the biopic. It says, let me see, this is the article from Hollywood Reporter. Quote, in the 21st century, however, Hogan's fortunes were seesawing as personal conflicts overtook those inside the ring. Most notably, he was embroiled in a sex tape scandal. And no, they just brought up all that shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. CJ brought it up. He's the one who directed The Hangover and Old School. So I've got faith in this movie. Hulk Hogan is also reported to be working as a consultant and executive producer on the project. He has also Todd Phillips has directed War Dogs and A Star Is Born, where he was the producer, says CJ. So this is something to be interested in. Okay, I know a lot of people really hate Hulk Hogan. I totally get it. Okay, totally get it. Okay, but can we lay off? Can we? For how long does someone have to be blackballed? You know, for how long do we do that? I think he served his sentence. Okay, and this one you can actually choose on. You don't have to watch. You don't have to watch the damn movie. You're not obligated to. So, yeah. That's all the news that happened for the week. Not much going on the injury front. Jason Jordan out with a neck injury. We don't know if he's wrestling anymore. Sami Zayn, torn rotator cuffs on both shoulders. He should be back for WrestleMania times. Kevin Owens has been showing promo videos of himself having fun with his family. I don't know what to make of any of that. I don't know what to make of any of that because I don't know if it's exactly getting me thrilled for his return. It's making me feel like Kevin Owens, just stay at home. It looks like you have a really great fucking life. Stay there. Go to the movies. Go bowling with your family. Yeah. Fandango, torn labrum. He won't be back. Well, he's supposed to be coming back soon. Where are you, Fandango? Roman Reigns, he's been battling leukemia since October the 22nd of last year. Harper, wrist surgery. He is good to go. He should be coming back soon. Fastlane is when he'll come back, is my lock. Ty Dillinger, wrist surgery. He asked for his release, so until we see his name dropped from the main roster, he is going to continue to be here on the injury list. Akam, knee surgery. He won't be back until May of this year. And finally, Ember Moon had emergency elbow surgery after the Royal Rumble. We're not sure what's going on with her. So, yeah. Let's avoid talking about him now, says Ty Dillinger. So, that's your injury report. But what about the people who aren't injured? What about the people who are perfectly healthy? What about the people who have not been on television for at least 3 weeks? What about the people that when they do show up, you go, holy shit, where did they come from? I totally forgot about them. These people end up on the WWE milk carton. The WWE milk carton is a list of performers who have not been on television, Raw, SmackDown, or pay-per-view in the past 3 weeks and are perfectly healthy to do so. New people have arrived on the milk carton. Many of them you should know very, very well because this could be their 4th appearance on the milk carton, like Shelton Benjamin. We haven't seen Shelton Benjamin since the Royal Rumble. Yeah, that's pretty much par for the course. We probably won't see him again until WrestleMania when he's in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and then they'll kick him to the curb. Yeah. Dolph Ziggler. We have not seen him since the Royal Rumble. In fact, a lot of these people that I'm going to be listing right now, we have not seen since the Royal Rumble. Dolph Ziggler is right now doing some stand-up comedy somewhere. Haven't seen the act, and I'm quite frankly afraid to catch the act. R-Truth. Your United States champion, R-Truth, has not been on television since January the 29th episode of SmackDown, where he took on both Rusev and Nakamura the same day to win the United States title. Where's the outcry? Everyone is so pissed about Brock Lesnar not showing up on TV. Why isn't anyone pissed about R-Truth? Is it the race card? Or is it because he makes you happy because he dances Fortnite dances? Or is it because he has Carmella that's with him? Well, R-Truth and Carmella have been performing at house shows. I have seen some really cute clips on the Twitter where they've been performing at house shows and they invite kids into the ring to do their dance break. It's really cool, okay? But it's a complete disgust that R-Truth has not been on TV for 3 weeks. And he's the United States champion, for crying out loud. What is our plan here? Why did we put the belt on him? And more to the point, what about Rusev and Nakamura? What happened to all of them? Jinder Mahal has not been on television since the Royal Rumble. Yeah. Nope, no TV for him since the Royal Rumble. I'm sorry, I had to make sure I didn't click anything with my database of stuff. He's not been on TV since the Royal Rumble, as is the same with the Singh brothers, Sunil and Samir Singh. Yeah. They aren't on TV. Why aren't they on TV? I don't know. They could have had room for them on Raw this week if they didn't call up the NXT people and weren't so fucking lazy. You could have used Jinder to push someone. Maybe the Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor. I don't know. Maybe that's me. It sounds logical. Now that's someone you didn't think you'd see on the milk carton, is it? We haven't seen Rey Mysterio on TV since the January 29th episode of SmackDown, where basically had a segment involving Andrade and Mysterio. He was basically talking into the camera about Andrade, is what it was. This is different. Yeah. Rey Mysterio making his debut on the WWE milk carton. Taking a rest. I totally get it. No problem with that. But we've now used Andrade to elevate talent that is on a paid service. So do we really care about Andrade and Mysterio not liking each other? I don't know. Now we get into the usuals. Well, Titus O'Neil, maybe not. Titus O'Neil, he was at the Royal Rumble, but since then he's been too busy making our nation a much better place. You know, giving people clothes, free education, free health care, health insurance, a Chick-fil-A sandwich. You take your pick. Titus O'Neil is too busy being a great man to get involved with this pro wrestling shit. The Ascension. Now we get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. Yes, the Ascension have not been on television since January the 21st, since they had a debut match against Heavy Machinery. Why not have the Ascension on there and be augmentative talents to go against whoever you think is going to be going against the Revival? Have them win a match against Hawkins and Ryder. Why not? Got plenty of weeks to do it. Tyler Breeze. He has not been on television since New Year's Eve episode of Monday Night Raw, where there was a battle royale to determine something. I'm not sure what. Oh, yeah, to determine who would be going against Bobby Lashley or someone for the Intercontinental title was what it was. Oh, who would be going against Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title. That's right. That's what it was. Tyler Breeze has been appearing. He's made a couple appearances on NXT. He has toured with NXT. He has done plenty of dark matches and stuff. But again, if you do not appear on Raw, SmackDown, or a major pay-per-view for 3 weeks, you are on the milk carton. So, Tyler Breeze really staking his claim on the milk carton. Nope, Sanity is off of it. Scratch that. I forgot to edit that. Sanity is off the milk carton. Primo and Epico Cologne. They have not been on television since November the 18th in Survivor Series. Okay. What's going on with them? Who knows? Who really knows? I'm pretty sure. I don't imagine them being released. That's the only thing. They are way too important of an asset to the WWE when it comes to managing talent, scouting talent, coaching talent. They're fantastic. Okay, they are great hands to have on the backstage front. So I would not consider them along the same lines of a Shelton Benjamin. Okay, these guys are going to hold on to for a while. Matt Hardy, we have not seen since SummerSlam. He claimed Reby Sky, his wife, claimed that he was retired last September or last October. Said that he had performed his final house show and all contractual obligations were met. But then about a month ago, around before the Royal Rumble, he stated that he was greenlit to return to the ring. Either way, who the fuck knows? He's still on the main roster, and he hasn't been on television since last August. Last August. We have not seen Matt Hardy for upwards of half a year. I'd be smiling like that too if I was collecting a paycheck for 6 months and not doing shit. But I take that back. He has been doing some promotional stuff here and there, making appearances. But still, he's got a really good gig going on. This guy, on the other hand, the stalwart of the milk carton, the one that everyone keeps thinking is going to be coming back and doing something, and he has done a whole lot of nothing, that is Bray Wyatt. We haven't seen him since SummerSlam. He's made cryptic tweets. He's erased his tweets. He's made more cryptic tweets. I've given up on this guy. I don't know when he's going to show up. I've gotten to the point where I really don't care. I don't even think I'll get excited when he shows up. And it could be for anything, okay? I would much rather, if he does show up, it be in a completely random occurrence. Completely random. He could be appearing at WrestleMania for all we know. Just in a random appearance. Who the hell knows? Lex saying JoJo is a whole lot of nothing. Oh, I know he's porking JoJo. I don't care. I really don't care anymore, okay? That's your WWE milk carton. Those are the jokers that have not been on TV for a very, very long time. I've got to adjust my camera here for this little segment coming up. Got to do a little bit of adjusting. Going to switch me around because I'm looking the opposite direction. Going to do that for a hot second. Doing that, I'm going to switch to this view because now it's time to do a part of the show that I think every fan does. I do it. We talk about it all the time. You talk about it with your friends at work. All wrestling fans do it. It is booking. It is time to book WrestleMania. Yes, we all know by now that over at WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, they have what is called the WrestleMania whiteboard. And on this whiteboard, they have booked WrestleMania well a year in advance. Okay? This WrestleMania shit that they're trying to cultivate into has been booked way in advance. And so it's now time to consult our WrestleMania whiteboard that we introduced after the Royal Rumble. So, here we go. No, wrong side. Let's go to this side first. Right now, the ones in red are the ones that have been iced down that we already booked well in advance. Bork and Seth Rollins, Ronda Rousey, Becky, and Charlotte. We already got that shit down locked. See up over on number 2, this WWE title ladder match. We're expecting clusterfuckery on this. There have been reports that Kevin Owens is returning and will be facing Daniel Bryan for the WWE title. Don't you believe them at all. Don't believe them at all. Right now, I'm still determining a WWE clusterfuckery. Asuka, what the fuck is Asuka doing? I have no clue. She's got a match against Mandy Rose is what's going on right now. After that, who the fuck knows? Lashley versus Owens for the Intercontinental title. I'm not digging that one. Not really digging that one. When was the last time Mojo was on the show? Not a video. Asks Jason. Mojo Rawley was on the show 2 weeks ago where he did his Stuart Smalley interview when he said he was good enough and smart enough and doggone it, people like him. All right. I've got to erase this Intercontinental title thing. Because that just ain't going to fly. Not anymore. Because right now we just have no clue. We have no clue what's going on with the Intercontinental title right now. Not with Fons Balor having it. So, I'm open for suggestions, people. What is happening to the Intercontinental title? Are we getting another clusterfuck? Because seriously, on my booking right now, this will be the 5th clusterfuck match on WrestleMania. Jason saying Asuka's gonna get the Intercontinental title. Oh, yeah. Randy saying Intercontinental multi-man clusterfuck match. That's what I'm thinking too. It's kind of what I'm looking at too. I don't know how they can necessarily build. Fuck. Actually, wait a minute. Are we counting on the Demon to ever appear at WrestleMania? Are we? Are we ever thinking that the Demon's going to appear at WrestleMania? If he does, that means it's got to be a one-on-one match. Who would it be that the Demon would go over on? Who could they build in 6 weeks? Doing Lashley again? I could see them do a trade-off. Sure. Wyatt is not coming back to get the goddamn title. Stop it, Gills. No, there's no Bray. No fucking Bray. No. Stop it. I'm burying Bray. I'm burying Bray. I don't care. Randy saying Ricochet. No, because Ricochet is part of the NXT roster. No. Right now, the way it's looking to me, I think it's going to be Lashley again. I got a feeling they are going to milk this Lashley Balor thing for another 6 weeks. Hell, it wouldn't surprise me if Lashley gets the title back. I know, Gills, you didn't say Bray would win, but I don't see Bray being in a match at WrestleMania. Bray ain't going to be in a match. Period. Like saying Ricochet has no titles, no ties. Yes, he has ties. He's in NXT. He's not going to be on TV. I wagered a shot on it. Stop it. Come on. Be realistic, guys. Be realistic. I'm just going to do an IC clusterfuck. You guys aren't following me here. You guys are not following me. If the Demon shows up at WrestleMania, it's going to be in a one-on-one match with someone he's had a program with. And someone also it's viable that he would go over on. He did it against Karen Bourbon. Remember that shit? That was a program that lasted about a month and a half. If the Demon shows up at WrestleMania, it's going to be in a program involving someone on the roster that he's familiar with. Come on. Just going to be on the safe side and stay a clusterfuck. Okay? Come on. Jason, yeah, you're right. I appreciate it, Jason. I appreciate it. Where'd my beer go? Where are my sources? Oh, there's my sources. Drew. Oh, there you go, Lex. Yes. However, I'm with you on that one, Lex. I'm with you on that one, Lex. You said it would be Drew, but then Randy chimed in. He's penning Drew and Braun, and that's what I'm looking at too. Okay, it's gonna be tough. Okay, Lex saying it won't matter. No one cares anyway. Yeah, that's what you say when you can't really think of a plausible answer and you can't add anything to the discussion, Lex. So. There's what we got. A lot of clusterfuckery on that side. U.S. title? U.S. title ain't even going to be on the main show. Should I take the U.S. title off the main show? Should I? The way that things are going right now? Yes. I'm taking the U.S. title off of the main show. Bear in mind, on the main show, we are booking 11 matches for WrestleMania right now, okay? We had the U.S. title match on this thing after the Royal Rumble. We were anticipating that the R-Truth title thing was going to be neat, but that ain't happening. Jason saying drop the U.S. title for the Divas tag belts. Nope, the women's tag belts are on the main card. I just haven't shown you the opposite side yet. So, U.S. title clusterfuck we are taking off. The U.S. title is now going to be on the pre-show. Are you happy? Truth. Which now frees up a slot on this card, but I'll show you the rest of the card right now. Now I can go to the opposite side. Here we go. I can only hope that you hear me. Raw Tag Team Clusterfuck. SmackDown Tag Team Clusterfuck. Miz versus Shane. We know that shit's going to happen. Women's Tag Team title match. I got Dean Ambrose and Triple H in a hardcore match because isn't Dean leaving? If we are really going to milk this that the Dean is leaving thing, that's why I've got that match on there. So, CJ saying he sees the Usos versus the Bar. AJ versus Orton. I don't know why I would do AJ and Orton. Why would I do that? Jason, why is Dean on the card? Because he's on the card because of all the contractual shit that was going down 3 weeks ago that apparently everyone has forgotten about. Like, Doug needs to just keep a Word document on this so he can pull it up on screen. No, it's called the whiteboard. WrestleMania whiteboard. It's not called WrestleMania Word document. Get your own show, Lex. Then you can make your own WrestleMania Word document. It's called Ambience. Try it. All right. Let's see. I need another match, guys. What am I doing? Am I doing Drew and Braun? Am I going to do... does Drew and Braun sound okay? Why give Dean the paycheck? Well, something to go home to. And actually, I don't see Dean going anywhere. It's a work, guys. Dean's not going anywhere. It's all a part of an angle. Stop it. AJ versus RKO or Drew versus Braun, says Randy. If I've got... Oh, that's really tough. That is kind of a tough one. AJ Randall or Drew and Braun. I really don't know. It's a really tough one. Jesus Christ, I don't even have like Andrade or Ray or, fucking A. There's a lot of names I don't have. Samoa Joe. I don't have Samoa Joe on here. God damn. Clusterfuckery abound. That's why I'm saying this WrestleMania is not exactly going to be the best. Randy asking if Taker is appearing. I'm not figuring Taker appearing. Ali? Huh. Ali has not been cleared yet. I don't know. Ali Joe would be a bit of fun. I think Ali Orton would be really good too. AJ Orton sounds like a match that would happen at Fastlane. Ali Joe would be very good. There's just a lot of stuff. Samoa Joe needs a match, but I've got this WWE title ladder title match clusterfuck going on. You know what? Okay. For right now, I'm going to pencil in Drew and Braun. For now. Okay. Just for now. I think they've already had a match, haven't they? I think they have. Now I think about it. Yeah, they have. Joe versus Cena was Gills. Samoa Joe versus John Cena was supposed to happen 2 years ago, and it didn't. And I'm so sad that it didn't happen. CJ is calling Daniel Bryan versus Cena. I have a lot of fun shit happening with Daniel Bryan right now. But I don't know. I can't do Drew and Braun. All right, we're just going to put AJ and Randall in there for now. Okay. We're just going to do Randy and AJ. Who knows? I mean, this is really just a place setter right now. Because I honestly, again, it's fun to book WrestleMania and doing a lot of like singles matches or triple threat matches. It's fun to do it like that. And if it doesn't pan out, that's fine. You know, and it pans out to be a one-on-one or a triple threat instead of a fatal four-way, that's fine. It still makes it fun. But when you're looking at this WrestleMania card right now and you have no clue what is happening, and most of the stuff that you really don't have a clue on is inconsequential, it's kind of bad. It really stinks. So, Bork Laser Seth Rollins, we know is a go. WWE title ladder match clusterfuck. We have no clue what's going on there. Ronda, Becky, Charlotte. That is going to end WrestleMania. That's going to end the show. Asuka, what the fuck's going on with her? Intercontinental title match clusterfuck. AJ versus Orton. That's just going to be a place setter. That's what it's looking like. Raw Tag Team title clusterfuck. SmackDown Tag Team title clusterfuck. Miz and The Shane. Women's Tag Team title match, whatever the fuck that could be. Dean Ambrose, Triple H, hardcore match. I'm calling it. Okay? That's what I'm saying. That's what it's looking like to me. Asuka, Mandy Rose is happening at Fastlane. Why should I care about Asuka if this is the first time she's been on TV in 3 weeks? I'm sorry. I don't care about Asuka. I really don't care. Nor do I really care about the SmackDown Women's title. No one should care about the SmackDown Women's title. It hasn't been on the show for 3 weeks, along with the U.S. title. There's no point. Stop it. Oh, yeah, by the way, what am I thinking is going on Fastlane? So, Daniel Bryan is facing Kofi Kingston for the WWE title at Fastlane. You're going to have the New Day at ringside. You're going to have Rowan at ringside. All kinds of funky shenanigans are going to be happening around the ringside. They're all going to get kicked out of the building. And guess who's going to show up to save Daniel Bryan? Harper. Harper's going to show up, which is going to lead to Daniel Bryan and Captain Planet and the Planeteers against the New Day. That is a match that could happen at WrestleMania and it not be title related. That's also a match that potentially Bray Wyatt could show up at. for no reason whatsoever. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a returning Harper very soon. Which could, again, play into a 6-man tag for WrestleMania. CJ saying and the fans would go apeshit Dougie, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. It's kind of what I'm looking at. Do I want to lock that? I'll talk with Mike on the Go Home Show. Okay. That's going to be the WrestleMania whiteboard finally. So, let me get back to here and speak of the fucking devil. Fucking Bray Wyatt. I don't care what he's doing. I just don't care. I don't care if he's making an omelet. I don't care. Okay, so Randy, why do a 6-man and not defend the title at WrestleMania? What the actual fuck? So that I can get a reaction like that. Know when you're being worked. I don't care. Give a damn what you think about the title. It's about progression, storyline. It's about character development. Okay, so I watched an old episode of Primetime Wrestling yesterday morning, dated March 6th, 1989. And it got me to thinking, man, it's been nearly 30 years that this show was on. And looking at this show and everyone that appears on these TV shows and how we try to book pay-per-views and try to place emphasis on certain matches and how we have little fillers and, to build up to the payoffs, we've really come a long way. Deeper rosters. People more, I don't want to say smarter to the business, but a little more privy to what happens out there. CJ high five. Yeah, it's really, there's so many different paths that I could go through saying in the past 30 years how professional wrestling with WWF to now current WWE, the differences, it's a humongous talk. But I just want to go over this week in general that I saw, which encompassed March the 6th of 1989, okay? What I'm about to show you are the matches and booking of 4 television shows that happened that encompassed around the week of March the 6th, 1989. This includes an episode of WWF Superstars, of WWF Wrestling Challenge, Primetime Wrestling, but also an episode of Saturday night's Main Event that would air later that week. You have to bear in mind that these 4 television shows are all used to push WrestleMania 5, which will be, I think it airs 3 weeks from then. I believe it's 3 weeks from then, where the main event is Macho Man versus Randy Savage, all revolving around Randy Savage's jealousy of Hulk Hogan and Miss Elizabeth. So, which is a fantastic angle, a fantastic story. And the shows did such a great job of pushing this angle just through interviews. And occasional matches on a Saturday night main event. So, here we go. I want to show you these matches, but also I want you to bear in mind other things such as the location of where these shows are. Not the matches, like what kind of matches are they? Are they squashes? Are they not? And also bear in mind the talent that's used and also other segments that are used within these shows. There is no A show. There is no B show. Ratings they didn't give a shit about because this was syndicated television. Okay? This was just about getting their name out there as an entertainment company so you could see their live shows. It was like a 1 hour long Barnum and Bailey circus ad was what it was, okay? So I want you to check this out. WWF Superstars from March the 4th of 1989. From Broome County Veterans Memorial Arena in Binghamton. Okay? Shifty, you can call them A and B shows all you want, okay? Just give them the terms all you want. It doesn't matter, okay? Money's all the same here. Whatever. So, we got Jesse the Body and Vince McMahon for wrestling for WWF Superstars. I believe it's Heenan and Monsoon do challenge. This week, we're going to see the unveiling of the $1 Million belt and comments from Randy Savage and Randy Orton and Hulk Hogan. Barry Horowitz and Barry Hardy teaming up against Demolition. Yep, this was a match that lasted 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Demolition winning with, I never knew that their finishing move was called decapitation. Ooh. WWF update with Gene Okerlund. This is about WrestleMania 5 as we get the rest of the matches added to the show, such as Mr. Perfect against the Blue Blazer, Bobby Heenan versus the Red Rooster, the Rockers versus the Twin Towers, Ted DiBiase versus Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and the Hart Foundation versus Honky Tonk Man and Greg Valentine. We get a return of the Piper's Pit with Brother Love and Morton Downey Jr. Yeah. And the news of Piper returning, it was big for the rest of the matches that were announced. Ravishing Rick Rude with Bobby Heenan in tow versus Dale London. This was a 1 minute squash. Hart Foundation versus Tony Durante and Gary Wolfe. This was a 2 minute and 41 second squash. By the way, Sean Mooney was in the event center where we got to hear more promos from the Big Boss Man cutting a promo on the Ultimate Warrior. And the Rockers promising to take care of the Brain Busters once and for all. Brooklyn Brawler with Bobby Heenan in tow versus Mario Mancini. Brooklyn Brawler won in 2 minutes and 1 penny. Then we got the epic promo from Randy Savage about how Hulk Hogan is grandstanding and hot dogging. Oh, God, this is one of Randy Savage's greatest promos ever. The grandstanding and hot dogging promo is one of the best ever. Man, it was good. Oh. Brutus the Barber Beefcake squashed Chris Duffy in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Brother Love Show unveiling Ted DiBiase's $1 Million belt. WrestleMania 5 report with Gene Okerlund, talking about Big Boss Man and other stuff. Twin Towers with Slick in tow versus two no-names. That was a 2 minute 03 squash. Mooney's back in the event center talking about Big John Studd promising to manhandle Akeem, and DiBiase vows to beat Tito Santana. Next week, we're going to get more comments from Hogan and Savage. In action will be the Blue Blazer, Dino Bravo, Bushwhackers, and Jake Roberts. So, yeah. Lots of squashes, but lots of promos and interviews and stuff hyping up WrestleMania 5. Now, kind of look to now. And I'm not just saying right now, with how we're going into WrestleMania. But think of WrestleMania's past, and how we would try to build matches and build intrigue into WrestleMania. Back then, WrestleMania was really just one match. One match was all that mattered. Whether it be a title match, a grudge match, it was just one. Okay? Hogan Andre. Hogan Sheik, Hogan Savage. One match was all it was. Okay? Now, WrestleMania is now beyond one match. We now have to tout 3 or 4. Usually it's 3. And it always was 3 for the past probably 10 years. You had a title match, a major grudge match, and the Undertaker match is what you had to tout. But since in between those times, we've gone beyond just talking one match building WrestleMania. It's now the entire card. And now it's not just the entire card, it's now the brand itself. It's WrestleMania. You got to watch it. Why? I don't know. According to my whiteboard, there's only 2 matches worth watching. So, we've come a long way in the past 30 years to how WrestleMania was not just constructed, but how it was hyped, how it was touted, how we used the television shows to build upon it and build up momentum to it. Go ahead and face facts. All these matches that were announced for WrestleMania 5, seriously. No one gave a shit about any of these matches or anything. It was just Hogan Savage. That's all you cared about, okay? Wrestling Challenge from March the 5th aired out of Hershey, PA, which is ironically the same arena that Saturday night's main event came out of, which they were taped simultaneously. So, yeah, that's what it was. The Rockers going against Barry Horowitz and Dino Coravello. Mr. Perfect versus a scrub. Big John Studd in a handicap match against Duffy and Carey. Big Boss Man interview, a Rockers interview. That was from Superstars. Greg the Hammer Valentine and Honky Tonk Man beating some scrubs. The Randy Savage Epoch interview. Hercules versus Iron Mike Sharp. Fucking Iron Mike Sharp. Ted DiBiase unveiling the $1 Million Belt. The Hulk Hogan rebuttal interview. Powers of Pain versus 2 jobbers. And then we have a Big John Studd interview and a Ted DiBiase interview. So again, rehashing from the previous show of WWF Superstars. And also touting the talent that just did some squashing that's going to be on WrestleMania. So, yeah, not really much of a difference. Then we get to Primetime Wrestling, the show that I said that I watched yesterday morning. Red Rooster versus Tim Patterson in squash. King Haku versus Omar Atlas in a house show squash. John Studd in the same damn handicap match that was on Challenge. Dino Bravo versus Sam Houston, which was actually kind of a decent match. Rhythm and Blues taking out some squashing some jobbers. The Twin Towers, Big Boss Man and Hakeem taking out some jobbers. Bad News Brown taking out a jobber. And the main event of Primetime Wrestling was in that house show, Ravishing Rick Rude versus Coco Beware. And that was a really good match. Oh, there was a really good match. So, again, same old. Squash matches. They would have the interviews sprinkled in here and there. But it's kind of amazing, again, seeing how far we've come to where, well, we talk about television show-wise now, we have 2 shows. No, they're not squash matches to augment talent. It's now trying to have matches to tell the storylines and protect our talent. And if anything, if we don't want to do that, we'll just bring talent from this thing and augment them, even though they aren't going to be on the show next week. Finally, Saturday night's main event came out of Hershey, PA, pre-taped. It was taped alongside Wrestling Challenge. Jesse the Body and Vince McMahon are the hosts. Ravishing Rick Rude versus Brutus the Barber Beefcake went on for 5 3/4. Went to a DQ. Rude, Jake. Let's see, what do we got here? Just reading. Oh yeah, crowd is really into Beefcake here. Rude as the Ultimate Warrior's face airbrushed on the back of his tights. Match starts off both guys fighting against the ropes. Beefcake wins that battle, lands in some 10 mounted punches in the corner, applies the sleeper, but Rude escapes as Beefcake continues to beat on Rude. Finally comes back with an inverted atomic drop, gets 2 with a snap snuplex, then applies a chin lock that Beefcake breaks up with a stunner. Beefcake hits an inverted atomic drop as we see Andre the Giant is at ringside. Rude catches Beefcake with a boot to the face, then dumps him outside, where Andre beats him down, then chokes him out behind the ref's back. Jake the Snake Roberts comes out of the crowd. The crowd goes nuts. Andre is running away. Rude then attacks Jake the Snake and tosses him inside, where Andre helps beat him up for the DQ. Fun stuff. Oh, God. That angle of Rick Rude and Jake the Snake. Oh, that was the stuff of magic. Oh, that was so good. Bad News Brown versus Hulk Hogan. Oh, I'm gonna have to check out this Saturday night's main event before I go to bed. This match went on for 9:44. This guy gave it 2.25 stars. But man, oh man. I gotta watch me some Bad News Brown and Hogan. God, I love Bad News Brown. I was whiter than white and I love Bad News Brown. He was beyond his time. His character was beyond his time. Oh, man. Randy Savage pacing around backstage in front of Elizabeth's dressing room to hype tonight's announcement of something. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase versus the Blue Blazer. DiBiase got the win in less than 4. Gene Okerlund now brings Elizabeth to the interview platform. I love the interview platform. She says it's a tough decision. And whose ring corner is she going to be in? Whose corner is Elizabeth going to be in? Man. She loves both men. Never wanted it to come down to this. Okerlund asks her if she will be in Hogan's corner. She says no. Savage then runs out, gloats about how Elizabeth will be in his corner. Okerlund asks Elizabeth herself and asks Savage if he's afraid of her answer. Savage says he's the champ, not afraid of anything. And Okerlund asks Elizabeth if she'll be in Savage's corner. She says no. Savage is pissed, tells Elizabeth she's out of line. Hogan comes out to tell Savage there's 2 reasons why he will not take his head off. First, he has respect for the manager. And second, it's for the title. At this point in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that Elizabeth was going to be taken off of the road and going to promote a line of perfume. Okay. Sure. Brainbusters with Bobby Heenan versus the Rockers. Apparently, this got a lot of stars for a near 10-minute match of 4.25 stars. This is some other guy's ratings. I'm not paying attention. Brooklyn Brawler versus the Red Rooster at a minute and a nickel. Excellent show is what this guy says. I'm going to have to check out this Saturday night's main event. It was from March the 11th of 1989. But again, this week, of looking at this particular week and just seeing how far we've come in the past 30 years when it comes to hyping a WrestleMania, building a WrestleMania, making everyone excited for WrestleMania. You can call Saturday night's main event the Monday Night Raw event, but this show only happened 3 times out of a year. You cannot call this the A show when the A show only happens 3 times a year. Okay? So, it's just amazing how far we've come as pro wrestling fans and how this company has come, the WWF, WWE, to where squash matches galore is now full of, we now know what low card, mid card, and main event talent is. Back in the days of kayfabe is dead. A very thick curtain, no curtain at all. Real names, not so much. At least 15 forms of mediums of communication by different entities. 2. Your phone and your word and mail. That's it. It's amazing how far we've come from this 30 years ago. Okay. And I think a lot of people take it for granted. What if it was like this now? What if this booking was going on now? And it's really hard to, delete the thoughts of an internet, of an internet not existing, instant forms of communication not existing. Yeah. But the other thing too is back then, the WWF at the time, these shows were just 1 hour long infomercials for their live touring that they did everywhere at these cheap places in Binghamton and Hershey, PA. When's the last time Raw or SmackDown was in Hershey? Why in the hell would they go to Hershey for a TV taping when they could go to Pittsburgh or Philly? They can afford it now, that's why. So they've come a very, very long way in the past 30 years. And I think a lot of fans who are old enough to remember it all, like me, like Lex in the chat room that lambasted me over the Facebook about it, talking about what A shows and B shows are. It doesn't matter what the A shows or B shows were back then. It wasn't about ratings. It wasn't about what an A show or a B show was, regardless of how often it was viewed. They were trying to start themselves. They were trying to establish themselves. And they did. They very well did, by many different avenues. So it's kind of, I really, really wish the WWE Network would post those episodes of Wrestling Challenge and Superstars on the network. That's what I really want to see. Okay, that's where the meat and potatoes of the WWF in the 80s is. It's not from Primetime Wrestling. It's not from All American. It's not from anything that was on the USA Network. It's all from those syndicated television shows they had. And that's what we really need to see on the network, because that's how it all started, was syndicated television. It started, yes, on the USA Network, but then it grew from there to syndicated, and then after that. So, yeah. I think I would really just like to see it. I'd like to see that first rather than getting, God damn it, live house shows from, Evolve or Progress or anything like that. I want to see more about their past. I want to be able to understand what has happened again. Okay. Because again, it's really hard to kind of watch it with open mind, when back then when you were watching it, you were only 10 years old. Sorry. It's easier to, I need to watch the actual show itself. You can't really take that discerning eye and try to remember back when you were 10 years old what it was, and that's I take more stock in that than I do anything else. How old I was when I was watching professional wrestling. Yes, Doug, you could go on YouTube and watch it. No, I'm not going to. It's got to be on television. It's got to be on the television in good quality, not from some joker's VHS tape. It's got to be consumable. It's got to be right there at the ready. I am not one to go that far into research, and it's really, really tough to. It's really tough to separate yourself from how you watched wrestling as a youth to how you are 30 years later, because you kind of break that barrier, you kind of break that barrier to where you were lost and you were having fun and everything, and now you're told that Santa Claus is dead and Easter Bunny doesn't exist, and those tooths that you put under your pillow for the tooth fairy was just that was just some creepy thing that everyone told you to do. So that's something to go to bed to, huh? Thank you all so much for tuning in to Wrestleview Weekly. Sorry to end it on that note, but I'm sorry. I'm old. I'm reminiscing here. I'm kind of losing myself in a drunken haze. I'm going to have to turn on the WWE Network now and put on some... Oh, God, what do I had to put on? I'm going to turn on some Rick Astley. Yeah, find my hypercolor shirts. Man, I'm really going back out there. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Everyone who's in the chat room, Shifty, that's Lex, CJ, Jamel, Jason, Randy, everyone else in the chat room. You're probably not going to say it now because you've all probably bowed out because you're too damn tired. Well, too damn bad. I already mentioned you at the beginning of the show. Tune in next week, Monday, after Raw, right here on this YouTube channel. Mike and Victoria Tedesco are going to cover the Monday Night Raw that is not going to have any jokers from NXT on it. None of them are going to be showing up on it. I have wagered a shot of tequila on it. And then tune in here next week, where I will be here. And we'll do more of the same. Talking about the red show, the blue show, the news, the milk carton, the whiteboard, the injuries, and all of the other things. And I might reminisce about stuff that I really don't remember when I was 8 or 9 years old. Or I might talk about stuff that you all would be interested in. I'll tell you what. Keep an eye on the Twitter or the Facebook. I might try to throw out a line for some ideas for another segment on this show, because I don't really know if I can fill all of my stuff and it can fill 2 hours, because that's kind of the plan. But, yes, Jason says he wants a whole show of fantasy booking. Oh, we can do that shit. Oh, we can absolutely do that. That ain't no problem. I can absolutely do some fantasy booking for you, but I got an idea. Tune in next week, Wrestleview Weekly, all the segments that I usually do, and ending with the segment, how to fantasy book realistically, and how to tiptoe the line. The line of Cheeto Munchery and do chuggery. Okay? We'll just go ahead and leave it at that. Realistic fantasy booking. How is that for a very paradoxical term? Paradoxical, is that one? Fantasy booking how-to? Yeah! Fantasy booking how-to. That's the best way. Fantasy booking for dummies. Fantasy booking for dummies. Not for Cheeto Munchers or do chuggers. Guys, thank you all so much for tuning in and bearing with me. It's a great show. I'm so glad to be doing this thing. I'm really serious. It is not the booze talking. It's been a year. Can't wait to keep doing this for another year. It's been a really rough week for me. Not going to tell you why, but man, I'm just glad that I'm doing this and you guys are here to check it out. So, again, catch y'all next week. Know when you're being sold to.